Welcome, warriors, to the day 7 of the Daily Warrior Ritual Challenge. So, today is all about continue implementing your new daily goal or your new daily routine, I'll say. So, I understand that sometimes this may seem frustrating and maybe it doesn't. And maybe it is inspiring and fun. It depends on who it is that may be experiencing this in your point of view or your point of perception. But for those that are struggling to stay slow and consistent, um, I definitely have experienced a fair share of wanting to go fast and thinking that I needed to just go, go, go. And so 7 or 8 years ago, I was just starting my job, my job that I just recently left about 2 years ago. That's fairly recent. Um, it's a little over 2 years now, but um, no, it hasn't been 2 years yet, but it's almost 2 years. Anyway, so while I was in my job, I was in college and I was just trying to figure myself out. And I learned about the online space being somewhere where you could make money. And I was like, okay, so I could provide for my family while wherever I want to be. And I thought that it would be so easy and quick since it was the online space. And I've been equipped with learning, knowing the online space for some time. So, and that was one of the biggest problems that I faced in the beginning when I first realized and learned that it's not a scam to have a business and do and operate online. But the way I was going about it was so selfish because I thought I could just do it, and I would get this instant rewards. And I didn't really know the how of how I was going to do it, but I knew I was just going to do it. And I had the crappiest intentions. They were crappy because I was introduced to scams and I've never scammed anybody, but I wanted to. And I got my ass handed to me, meaning it didn't go the way I thought it would be. And I'm so lucky and I'm so fortunate, I'll say. I was so fortunate that I've never tried to actually scam anybody, but of course it went through my mind to want to scam anybody, not even scam anybody. I just wanted to do anything it took to be able to make money. And if scamming was the way to do it, I was open to any possibility at that time. But I learned over time that I wouldn't be able to sit with myself and be able to look myself in the mirror and be okay with myself making money off of someone else's suffering. So, and I came into that realization maybe I would say 6 months after realizing that the online space was a space that I could make money. And I didn't realize how much time it would take to put forth some of the things that I wanted to do. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just wanted to be able to provide for my family and have the freedom to be able to move wherever I wanted to go. And although there's nothing wrong with that, what's wrong with it is what I wanted to do just it would only benefit those that I cared about, and anybody else that interacted with me, it's to each their own. And that's such a horrible way to operate. that's not sustainable. It's not something that anybody should strive for if they know that that's wrong morally, ethically, and personally. Because one day, in a year, 2 years, 10 years, doing that, it's not going to be something that I just think about, like, that's not a legacy that should ever be passed because it's not sustainable. And the foundations of scamming is very brittle at its foundations. So it took me some time to realize that, but I eventually did. And even with myself just realizing that, I didn't want to admit that I was wrong. And I'm so happy that I didn't actually go forward with it because I still didn't understand the dynamics or the foundations that needed to be put in place to even market myself, to even, I didn't know how to speak to people. So it didn't even matter that I wanted to scam people. It was nobody would have really believed me anyway because it was like I was probably at the time like a bumbling idiot. And that's no way to operate in business because people could smell that a mile away. So it's like, you know, but that slow approach, it ate me up because I was like, I just want to do it now, 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 now. And hearing about the tortoise and the hare and hearing about how the tortoise was the one that won the race. Of course, when you first hear that parable, or not parable, but that the fable, you're thinking like, but how? It's because the rabbit was always the hare was always distracted. It always it was going back and forth between the tortoise and almost close to the finish line, but then got distracted because he seen this, he seen that, it was this, it was that. And yeah, he had all of this real great speed, but he didn't have the focus to keep going, the drive to just do what he set out to do from the beginning. And we have to take the tortoise approach to um we have to take the tortoise approach to our rituals. And the tortoise represents consistency, and the rabbit represents distraction. So it's all about moving forward, moving with intention, moving deliberately, because we know that it will yield the most, or it will yield a more favorable outcome because it's slow. So at least if you're going slow, you could see where it potentially could go. And with the hare, he was consistently always moving and running and running and moving and running and then stopping and running, but never experiencing it, never really enjoying the process because he was always on the go. So, um, um, so it's all about staying focused and being consistent. And in your own life, it's important to be slow because you get to learn those small things that if you were running fast, you wouldn't pay attention to it. You wouldn't know to see it because it's zoomed. So it's the small things that you want to pay attention to because those are the things that it's the details that matter. And it'll show us whether or not if we like something or if we don't. So this is what implementation is all about. It's the small details that we may have overlooked because we're just zooming. So and remember, your best investment is yourself. You know, forget all the material objects because those are just I feel like those are like a bonus for the efforts that you put into yourself. those are the things that you just, I'm like, you know what? I'll just get that because I put in this time and effort. So I want to reward myself on the external, meaning the outside world, with the material objects, and that's fine. And think of certain celebrities, like some of them really just zoom, 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 and not realize that life is more than just going fast. There's a time and place for the going fast, but how do you enjoy life if you're not stopping and being slow and seeing being a part of the moments at that time? Because moments and time, definitely it goes. So it's exactly like I was speaking about yesterday, about, or day 6 of the challenge, where there's people on their deathbed wishing that they just took that chance. And again, this needs to be something that's reminded that we cycle through life, and when there's life, there's death, and it's okay to feel uncertain at times. But this is why we check in with ourselves. This is why we document, and this is why we go slow, so we can notice the minute details that may have gone unnoticed because we were going so fast. So give yourself the time. It's okay. You got this. And I will speak to you all on day 8 of this challenge, the Daily Warrior Ritual Challenge. I hope this helped. I hope this definitely resonated. And I'll speak to you all on the next episode.